Hi, I'm Neill, Australia's Socceroo captain. I've learned about Gallipoli at school. I've heard stories as I was growing up. And now that I play in Turkey, I have the opportunity today to go visit Gallipoli, pay my respects, and share my story with you on World Football News. Okay, Bulent, you are my tour guide for today.
Yes.
You're a local guy who's been doing the Anzac Battleground tours for over 12 years now.
Yes.
Can you take me to Anzac Cove and tell me all about what happened there?
No worries, mate. Yeah, I'll take you.
Okay, Bulent, 4:30 a.m. April 25, 1950. This is where the first 1,500 Australian soldiers landed here in Anzac
Cove.
They were accidentally here because they were meant to land on Brighton Beach. And what happened? They were engaged by Turkish soldiers straight away?
Yeah, just only 160 Turks. They were defending actually this area very early in the morning. 160 Turks, but the first group all tried to climb up all the hills to up there where the Turkish soldiers actually up there. So they pushed back them to the inland. So the first Anzacs got about nearly 2 kilometers to the inland. Very first a couple of hours.
But until you actually stand here, you don't realise the conditions that the Anzac army was up against. It's notorious, and it obviously gave Turkey the upper hand, having the best position. The heat was atrocious. At night the weather was freezing. For you, Michael, what does it mean to be here today?
Well, it's a little bit of history that I've been thinking about and dreaming about, and coming here for the 25th of Anzac Day. It's a pretty memorial thing.
Sure.
It's
Jim?
very moving.
Much the same thing, Lucas. I've been wanting to come here for about 40 years. Got a particular interest in military history, and this is really the place where Australia became a nation.
Okay, Bulent, we are here at the beach cemetery in Gallipoli. What's the significance of this cemetery?
This cemetery, one of the Australian, his namesake was John Simpson.
John Simpson, the famous man with the donkey.
Yes, his story was carrying all the wounded men from the front line to the Anzac Cove. It was a medical, and he got the donkey. Yeah. Even in 25 days, carried all the wounded men.
And how many wounded men did he carry?
I can say more than 300 wounded men.
300 wounded men, wow. And he did that with 3 donkeys. Here I am at Lone Pine. It's an amazing place. This happens to be the only place where Australia can say that they actually were victorious in battle in Gallipoli. But it came at a high price for both sides. Turkish soldiers, 4,000 of them killed and wounded, and Australia, just over 3,000. Guys, Australians, how does it feel to be here?
To be here is a very proud moment for, I'm guessing, all of us.
Paul?
Yeah, it's a privilege to be given the opportunity to come here. Is a real privilege, and I'm glad I could make it.
Very proud to be here, and it's very surreal as well, being here where 95 years ago our country was here doing what they did. So yeah.
Well, here I am in one of the Anzac trenches, and it is absolutely amazing to see that this is literally a tin's throw, as they said in those times, or a stone's throw away from the Turkish trenches, which are separated now by what's called no man's land, but now it's signified by a road. So if we were fighting in the trenches here, we'd literally be 10-15 metres from the Turkish side, and they used to have not only engage in combat, but they used to engage in a bit of banter as well. They used to throw food that they didn't like over to each other, occasionally fresh bread, occasionally water, and you are literally 10-15 metres away. So we are right now on no man's land. This is obviously where the Great Divide was, Turkish here, Australian here. It's just amazing to see that this war was fought so close to each other, yet so deadly. And if we come down here, it's all tunnels that have been built on the Turkish side so they could protect themselves with the communication, and obviously have a much superior setup to the Australians. But as with every single battle that's gone on here, so many lives were lost. I'm here at Anzac Cove the first place where the Anzac soldiers arrived at 4:30 a.m. on that famous 25th April 1915, and it's also where a memorial now stands from Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who was the commander of the Turkish army, who stood firm against Australia. And when it was all done and the dust had settled, many years after, he wrote a speech and he gave it to the people of Australia and the Anzacs, and I'm going to read it because it's very emotional, and it reads, "Those heroes that shed their blood and lost their lives, you are now lying in the soil of a friendly country. Therefore, rest in peace. You, the mothers who sent their sons from faraway countries, wipe away your tears. Your sons are now lying in our bosom and are in peace. After having lost their lives on this land, they have become our sons as well." If there is any positive to come out of this war, it's probably the relationship that Turkish people have now with Australians and the recognition that both countries give each other for their time in war. Well, Gallipoli today has been an amazing experience, a very sad one, but one where I've fully appreciated both sides of a story, both the Turkish and an Anzac side. It's tragic, so many casualties, a lot of blood spilt. I'm very proud as an Australian and very emotional to have been here today. So if you ever get the chance as an Australian, you should come and visit Gallipoli and appreciate the sacrifice and the casualties that went into this battle. This is Neill for World Football News.